In this video, you're going to learn about the budget constraint. The budget constraint shows us all possible combinations of goods that someone can afford given the prices of goods when all income is spent. You deal with your budget constraint every day that you go shopping. And here we're going to use a much simpler version to go ahead and explain what this budget constraint is in a graph form. Here in our example, we have only two goods to choose what we spend our money on. We can either spend them on burgers or we can spend them on bus tickets. Now, when we're figuring out our budget constraint with these only two goods, we can also write it out in an equation form. And we can find our budget equal to the price of a first good times the quantity that we're purchasing of that first good, plus the price of a second good times the quantity that we're purchasing of that second good. And in this, the first good we're going to be looking at are burgers. So this is our Q1 over here. For finding P1, or our price, we see that it is $2. And then over here on the right for P2 and Q2, we know those are the bus tickets. So our P2 is going to be 50 cents, and down on the horizontal axis is our Q2. Now something that's a little different is that when we look at each axis, the dot on the axis tells us as if we were spending all of our money only on that one good. So if I know that burgers are $2, for example, and I only have $10 to spend, how many burgers can I buy? And we find out that number by taking the income and dividing it by P1. And we know our income to be $10. So 10 divided by 2 gives us 5. And we know if we spent all of our $10 just on burgers, we could purchase 5 of them. But that would mean we would have 0 bus tickets. Coincidentally, if we only spent all of our money on bus tickets, we know that our income is $10. And if bus tickets only cost 50 cents, we know that turns out to be equal 20 bus tickets. And then our budget constraint is just this line that we connect through to see of all the different combinations, if we start spending our money on one or the other, what can those combinations be? And so let's go ahead and pick one of them in the middle, and we can draw out what it looks like in the equation form as well. Let's pick point C. So at point C, we know that we are going to be purchasing 3 burgers and 8 bus tickets. So let's make sure that that comes out to $10. We know that the price of burgers is $2, and we know from over here on the left that we're going to be purchasing 3 of them. And then for the bus tickets, we know they cost 50 cents, and we're going to be purchasing 8 of them. So we know burgers are going to cost us $6, and we know that the bus tickets are going to cost us $4, which brings us out to $10. Now, could it be possible for me to purchase 8 tickets and then also purchase 5 burgers? And let's call this point G. So for point G, if I'm buying 5 burgers at $2, we still have 8 bus tickets. So now I'm spending $10 on burgers and $4. That total income would be higher than what our current budget is. So that's how we know that this is not attainable. Anything up to the right of this line is not possible because we don't have enough income, or the price is not low enough. Anything on the inside, though, is. So we could totally decide that we want to purchase only 4 bus tickets and still get 3 burgers. But all we have left over is income. We just have income that's not spent yet. So anything on the inside of this line here all of that is attainable. But anything on the outside is unattainable. And that's our budget constraint.